But one thing about Romanian wedding is they feed you.
Oh.
You eat. You haven't that this one.
You don't eat in 3 days what you have to eat
Oh,
in
you
2
have to-
hours, isn't it?
eat and eat and eat. It's like the food keeps on coming.
Da. Okay. What's
it
your
was
name?
mainly Kalarash. Soon to Mihai.
Mihai in Romania.
Mihai,
You're
yeah.
Mihai.
So I took Mihai because my dad is Michael.
Bun găsit tuturor, bine v-am găsit la o nouă ediție a podcastului Corinei. Pentru că suntem în UK și avem aici o grămadă de povești interesante și o grămadă de oameni care au atâtea povești de spus, am alături de mine astăzi un cuplu pe care nu vi-l arăt încă, așa că nu mutați cadrul băieți. Un cuplu pentru că avem o ediție specială, aș vrea eu să spun la acest podcast. O ediție specială a podcastului Corinei. O să vedeți imediat și de ce. Podcastul o să fie în limba engleză și o să aflați niște povești foarte interesante, niște despre stereotipuri care sunt în România, despre stereotipuri care nu sunt în UK sau care sunt, și vă invit alături de mine. Acum cred că putem să mutăm pe cadrul general, alături de Josh și Andreea. Hello guys.
Hello.
I'm very happy to be with you here today.
Same here.
We are even more happier.
We have discussed last time
Yes.
about how guys did you met, and there was a surprise when you told me that you actually have met in Romania, where you have studied medicine.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want you to tell me a bit.
Yes and no. I mean, we met in Romania, but it's funny because we've met on Facebook actually the first time.
Mm-hmm.
It was my first time traveling to UK as a tourist.
Oh, okay.
And I came alone. I was so stuck, and then I had him in my Facebook friends list. And I think maybe 2 days prior to me coming, I saw him uploaded a picture in front of a UK house. It was his dad's house. And then I wrote him like, oh, hey, because we had so many common friends, but we've never actually spoke. Like, are you still around? And he was like, no, I've just got back to Romania like yesterday. And then since then we started talking. 2 months later,
When was that?
In September 2009.
Okay.
Yes.
There is some time.
Yeah. So I guess it was quite interesting, at that point we just clicked. Who knows, it was just like we met, she sent the message, then I started writing her, and then we started talking. She was in the UK, then I came back to Romania and we met at Piața Romana.
Okay.
In front of Vase.
I'll never forget that. Was
that in Bucharest or in Iași?
In Bucharest.
In Bucharest, yeah.
The thing for both of us, or at least for me, I wasn't looking for a relationship, so I thought we're going to be friends because
I think that's the trick.
Yeah,
you don't have to look for a relationship.
Exactly. So we're like, just meeting as friends. Like, I had no interest because I had disappointments in life, and I'm like, you know what? Unless it's like marrying someone, I don't want to hear about it. And
how old were you back then?
20 something.
Yeah, so not thinking about marriage at that age, yeah.
But she always told me something like, the day we met, she just said like, this is the man I'm going to spend the rest of my life with.
I can still remember he was wearing like...
So you had no chance.
This is my part.
She just
he was
like,
walking towards me in his like black jeans, green t-shirt.
I still remember that.
And like from 10 meters away, I was like, if I don't marry this guy, I'll never marry in my life.
Which,
it's
when you start dating,
strange.
like, what's happened? But I guess, here we are.
You found out at some point you had no chance. That was it.
only 10 months later.
Only 10 months later you got married.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was very fast.
Yeah, it was quick. And you can imagine even our relationship was a bit of like a distant relationship because she was studying in Bucharest. I was studying in Iași. So what we had to do was she comes, I go, and then you can imagine it's like taking the train, 5 hours, sitting on the train.
No, actually, he was driving 5
but
hours. I was taking the train for 7 hours. Intercity, Bucharest to Iași, 7 hours.
Was it 7 hours?
That's without delays, yeah.
Wow.
But people do everything for love, yeah?
Indeed.
We surely did.
Indeed. But when you just started dating, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
How did your family especially, I want to ask, and then you, Josh.
Yeah.
How did your family welcome Josh? Because you are like a biracial couple, yeah?
Yeah.
And in Romania, there are still a lot of, I don't know if I can call it racism. I don't know if it's racism. Maybe it is.
Oh,
but
so much.
yes, it is. There are a lot of stereotypes.
So much stereotyping in the fact that, it's two different cultures. Then people see like the mentality of, okay, you are a black man.
Yeah, they're still looking at the color.
Yeah, at the color and things like that. But yeah, I guess she can say much about
my parents were not really concerned that, he's from another country. Well, they did mention that, it will be hard because of cultural differences, which we had, but we overcame them all. My mom was and my dad just generally worried about any man that comes into my life. So in that aspect is actually, my mom organized the wedding and everything. She still nags at us after so many years. Yeah.
Okay.
But no, we didn't have from his family as well. They were.
Yeah, I think it was just because for my family, my dad, I've got like a stepbrother who is mixed.
Okay.
So, and apart from that, my dad studied in Europe, so it was much easier for him to integrate into that. And all he just said was like, as long as you're happy, as long as this is what makes you happy, then just go ahead with it. But of course, sometimes you think about it, the culture is totally different. Although I still say like
there
Romanian
are still a lot of
Nigerian,
similarities, yeah.
A lot of like similarities between Romanian and Nigerian culture. Honestly, it's like, and even for her, because you see so many things, and even when I got to Romania, I was just like, oh, wow, there's so many similarities with that in regards to how we treat each other as a couple and how we relate, and that really helped us. Of course, there will still be some few things, because you can imagine from my own culture, there's a way you see life, there's a way you like, okay, maybe you're being brought up, for me, I was being brought up with my mom being around and doing like, I'll say 80% of the stuff, because my dad was there, but he just played a role like, like a provider for the family, not like, of course, provider, but at the same time, it was much more like my mom took that role of like, okay, yes, you have to be this, you have to do this, you have to do that. So yeah, but it wasn't that much of like our family. It was much more like, how do other people see us? How do like the community, the environment you're living in, how do they see it? And you can imagine you're in Romania where people always think like, oh,
God. I stuck my middle finger so many times to people like, around.
It's coming maybe fantasie, she thought, which is not, it's how, and it's how, I'll say it's how, I won't say the culture, but how humans be sometimes, and what some people grew up with.
Gossips and stuff.
Because even when I was in, you can imagine, sometimes at the beginning, when you're in the tram and you get on the tram, I'll see people maybe from the countryside, they'll be pointing at you that, hi, negro, and they'll be telling, maybe the kid is telling the mom.
It's like you're not getting it what they're speaking about,
and
crazy.
It's interesting, Sometimes it makes you feel special, but at the same time, it's different. Because here, if that should happen,
makes you feel different,
It makes you feel different, like, oh wow. And sometimes you're like, I have my own stories about so many things that happen anyway, but I guess.
Why? Tell us one.
When I first got to Romania and Iași, because I was living very close to the Gara.
Okay.
The Gara. So Gara is always busy. Gara is like the train station, Yeah, sorry. I'm saying Gara is like train, as if you don't know. So Gara is
trying to explain what Gara is to Romanian.
Busy, So I was staying very close to opposite vis-a-vis Gara for you know, for anybody that lives in Yash, you know, you have in the Gara, you have McDonald's, then there was a house. I still remember that place, Trapunjeri Silvestre, you know. I'll never forget. So I was just outside, and then there were some, you know, some guys, you know, we call them, you know, Tehran, you know. I'll say Tehran, but now I understand, you know, but then I didn't know, you know.
Tehran.
Maybe, and
Not in the good sense of the
yeah,
word
no,
Tehran,
of
just,
course,
you know.
And then the guy saw me, and I was walking, and he just rode his bike.
Okay.
And then I think probably, I'm guessing maybe he was maybe a bit drunk as well. And he just hit me
Oh,
with the
wow.
bike. And I'm like, and I just wait. And the funny part of it was like, because I just, you know, came to Romania, I used to hear something with, you know, not the best word to say, like, pulla. So I just said, like, I wanted to, you know, because I know that, you know, they curse each other with something with pulla, you know. And I said straight away, sunt pulla. And for me, I was thinking, you know, I've cursed him, like, you know, because I wanted to, like, say it in Romania, because I know probably if I said, like, in English, you won't understand. And I said, sunt pulla. And the guy was looking at me, I was laughing, like, oh. And I felt like, what have I done? So
You are saying it right, by the way. I mean,
and I went back inside the house, because the person I was living with then, he's been around, and he
was a Romanian?
No, he was he's Arab.
Okay.
He's Arab, but
Okay.
he's lived in Romania more than I did, because
Okay.
he spent more years. So I went upstairs, and I'm like, you know, I said, someone just did this to me, and I said, Sun Pula, and I said, no, bro, you're just calling yourself. You know, I'm like, oh, you know, and I was thinking, I've done something, but anyway, yeah, I have my experiences. Trust me.
yeah. Thank you for sharing this, because I just want to actually ask you how were you treated back then when
Yeah.
you came there? How did you find, like, I'm just getting away from the point, like, have you met, but I just have a
don't
question.
mind.
How did you find the university? How did you find, like, you want to study in Romania? How did you took this?
Yeah, so luckily, what happened was, definitely I was thinking, okay, I'll start medical school. So I started first my medical school. I started in Nigeria, and then eventually I got to the UK, and it was all about, okay, what do I want to do? And then I luckily got a scholarship to spend 1 year through the Nigerian government, and then with UK to spend 1 year in Romania. So I was thinking, okay, it was just going to be 1 year of, like, getting a scholarship and just staying there, but eventually ended up spending more years. So it was that was what happened.
Okay. But you've been, like, to Romania before?
No.
You enrolled,
Yeah,
and then you
enrolled.
came for the
And
first time.
I remember when I got to Yash is like one of the coldest places, you know, in Romania when it comes to, like, being, apart from maybe some other areas
Coming
where
from
it's cold.
Nigeria, which is hot and warm,
which
and
is
stuff.
hot and warm. And you know, when I was coming there, like, oh, get some jacket, and I'm like, oh, let me just wear a nice shirt to look good and everything. And then I got there, and it was
-20.
-20. So
Not looking good
yeah,
anymore.
not at all. So yeah.
Okay, so your relationship wasn't that. I mean, there is not a long story about it, since you got married
Yeah, it's
in
just
10 months.
Yeah.
Because we have this stereotype, like, oh, if you're getting married very fast, maybe it's not gonna last or anything, something like that. You know,
yeah.
it's don't take these decisions like just like
we
that.
made it work while we were walking the road.
Yeah, but it's different for everyone, you know. Like, some people, they need that long-term courtship, you know, to understand each other, to be together. But for us, I think we're young as well, but we just saw that thing in us that, okay, you know, we feel right for each other. I'm always that kind of person that, for me, I just see, like, when someone is, like, hardworking, and then, you know, they can do things and improve. And at that point, you know, she just came as, okay, you know, we can do this together. Because definitely I was in school, but at the same time I was, like, trying to do every other few businesses, and she was always contributing. And the way she was with that, it was like, you know, you might be with some people that, you know, it's going to be like, yes, you are in a relationship, you are doing something for them, but it was just a relationship. Maybe they want something out of it, you know.
Yeah.
But with her, she just never asked me, and that was like for me, like I'm with someone. I'm coming from a culture where you do something for someone, you expect something back from them. They expect something back from you, and even when I tell her like, okay, yeah, take this, no, I'm just gonna do it. So, yeah, but I think there's so much to it, not just that, but different things.
I cooked as well.
Yeah.
So that was a plus.
Second day, yeah.
The second day, I was like, oh.
Okay, so she knows how to cook, so this is it.
Exactly. Added advantage.
How was for you, Andrea? I mean, when you first look at him and said, okay, if I'm not marrying this man, I'm not gonna marry at all. What was it that tricked you?
I have no idea. I just felt it.
Like I just
felt it, and it's surprising because before I used to I always say maybe like serious relationships, but after let's say 2 months, I was kind of like getting bored in the sense that anything that person would do would annoy me. So I was even thinking I'll probably never marry in my life because of just how tired I get, and everything will just
superficial maybe.
Yeah. And then when he came, it's like, I think he's also the kind of person that he'll not just like take my space. He will like leave my freedom in a very nice way and push me forward. But at that point in time, I just feel like he's the right person for me. And then I think time just told me that I made the right decision.
You were at the university back then as well, yeah?
Yes,
What
we were
were you
both
studying?
So I studied foreign affairs, and then I've also studied sociology and social care. So I was like doing 2 unis in the same time, one private, one University of Bucharest.
You know how Romanians like to learn.
Yeah, exactly.
I've done the same, so I know what she's.
But it's interesting though. It's good.
One
I
is
know what she's speaking about. I know. And working in the same time.
And working
having
as well.
Job.
Oh man, yeah, kudos. And that's why I say like with Romanians and the Nigerian culture, we are go-getters. We want to hustle. We want to do this. It's inside us.
And maybe because we are just as cultures, we are used to get the things in the hard way by working a lot and put a lot of effort and not getting it like all done. Okay, maybe if you are just coming up from a family like wealthy family or something, but most of us were
you walk your way up,
you have to.
People will say it now thinking, you've done so well, but it doesn't come easy, it comes with lots of sacrifice. And
what did you study in medicine, Josh?
So I did
what kind of medicine?
My medical role is quite interesting. So after finishing, because in Romania you do 6 years of medical school. So luckily, because I started medicine before, so I didn't start from year 6. I started from year 2. I didn't start from year 1. I started from year 2.
Okay.
Yeah. So in Yash, and then after that, you finish 6 years. At the beginning, I was thinking, I want to, because I did we call it like thesis. I don't know thesis in Romania. What do you guys call thesis? Like the final, licenza, the license. So I did that, and I did it in orthopedic surgery, because I was thinking I wanted to be a surgeon, because doctors, there are two sides to it. When you graduate, you're always thinking, I want to be a surgeon. It's like the most kind of prestigious one. But eventually for me, after doing that, then that's when I came back to the UK, and then I started with working, because you have to do like a foundation year where you go through all different areas of medicine to see which one
and
fits
then you choose.
So I started with like spinal surgery. Okay. I was still thinking, I was going to do, surgery.
It's nothing what you say like sounds easy.
It doesn't, but at the same time it was like, that was where I was able to get into. And then with the spinal surgery, it was far away from home, because we live in Essex, and then I had to be going all the way to Oswestry. I don't know. Do you know Telford?
Distance relationship again.
Yeah, Birmingham. After Birmingham, you still need to go like 2 hours.
Oh.
So that was far away from home, and I always had to I'll come home weekend, Sunday morning, 4 o'clock, boom. go there again. And I was enjoying it, but I just realized surgery wasn't for me. It wasn't my kind of person.
Okay.
Then I had my very, very good friend that said, you know what, psychiatry is quite interesting, So then I was like, psychiatry, how would people say it? Doing psychiatry, I have to deal with people,
Which year was this?
So this was in 2000 I finished medical school. So this is
only
like
after.
Yeah,
This
of
is
course,
the first year of
so
UK.
this is like the after you finished your medical school and then you're trying to like start working as a
Residenciat.
doctor.
Like,
How we call
doing
it, yes,
your
residenciat.
residency.
So I got into like let's say psychiatry. I did like a few bits of it, like just to see, okay, is it going to, so we call it like contract locum work.
Okay.
So just to see if this is going to fit into my lifestyle. Then I realized, wow, I think this is really me, I enjoy like talking to people, because one thing about psychiatry, you have to be empathetic. You have to have the empathy to listen to people, to like understand how they feel and things like that. So eventually I got into it, and then I did psychiatry. I go into the training, because after like your uni, you need to do training in a specialty.
Yeah.
So that was my specialty. I did the specialty training. Then I wanted to like do, I know my that's why I said, like, for me is a bit of like this, that is a combination of different things. And I always thought I wanted to do something in business, something like where I can bridge the gap between business and medicine. That's always been like in
combine
my head.
them.
Combine being an entrepreneur and also still keep my medical bits. If I was going to do psychiatry, maybe I can do that, like having my own private practice, but that wasn't what I wanted. I wanted something that would challenge me. So I got into pharmaceutical medicine. So because pharmaceutical medicine, like research work, you can always be between being a doctor and also understanding the business side of
What
things.
did attract you most as psychiatry?
I think the fact that you can help people, because I think the thing about psychiatry is there's so much stigma even till now.
Yes, it is.
Even till now, people are ignorant about it. But what attracted me is the fact that you can, even by talking to people, by just sitting with someone, it can be therapeutic. Even when it's not like the person is a psychologist, just sitting with them, and then the person understand how the person feels. The person knows that you're really listening to understand how they feel. It's therapeutic, and that was one of the things I enjoy. And for me, it's part of what I do. And what for any doctor, I think what you always want to see is results.
So did you practice this with Andrea?
The thing is, I don't know how to say, but in our home, no matter what you do, it's hard to do it at home.
It's not the same,
It's not the same. No.
It's very hard to apply.
What do you think, babe? What do you think?
I think that I had my own challenges that he's actually helped me, overcome. I'm a very emotional person, and I think he worked a lot on my self-esteem and just, building me as a tough person, because I never had any worries at home. So, that's really had an impact when I actually hit the wall of the real life.
Sisters or brothers?
No. I'm a single child. So my parents did everything for me, what they could, And he's really, maybe he doesn't realize, but it's not like he sat me down and did therapy, but just his own way of being, the patience and the way, he just always pushed me forward. So thank you. He's tried. He annoyed me many times, and many times
everybody annoys each other. That's
many
relationship,
times,
isn't it?
I probably did not want to do a thing, and I was
think
like,
that
no, I
keeps
don't
you
want to
more
do
involved
it.
sometimes.
And then eventually
keeps you more involved, but sometimes keeps you arguing. It's not perfect.
But like what most of psychologists are just saying nowadays, it's that having no argument with your partner means that's not a relationship actually.
Exactly.
And you need argument in your relationship.
If you don't argue, you don't care. Like it's so easy to just turn your back, live a peaceful life. But
and I think
we want problems.
one thing
we women in general, I mean.
One thing that has really helped us is we try as much as possible. It's not like we're not here to give marriage advice or anything like that, but we try as much as possible, to even if we fight, we need to finish it that day.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
or few seconds after that.
Like never
'Cause
going to bed upset on each other.
We try as much as possible. Nobody's perfect. Yeah, we might have had issues where we go to bed upset, but even for us, we start feeling like.
I mean, it's not
Makes
been
no
an
sense.
easy
And
people do
relationship.
it. Some people do it that they don't talk. I have friends, you know, I've been out before, you know, that a friend just told me like, you just had an argument with your wife, and you guys the next minute, you guys have sorted it. How do you do it? Because for some people, you know, they might fight maybe a day or two, not talking, and then you start keeping because that will make you start thinking of this person is this person is that. You won't look at the good side.
That
So for
silence
us, we
hurts.
just
Feel like
try-
strangers.
You know?
And
Exactly,
hurts.
exactly. And you
Yeah,
can
it
easily
does.
just like start, you know, feeling that kind of, you don't feel the intimacy anymore. You don't feel the fact that you're close to your person, and it's so easy to just drift apart.
Yeah.
So yeah, we had the bumpy road, but as in every marriage, we've tried to fight. Yeah, I think what we had was the love, and for that,
Yeah.
we always try to.
You are
make
doing it
work.
well, because we are like now 13 or 14 years later.
Yeah.
13.
There's a nice house. With a pool.
Thank God.
Most of us were dreaming of
Thank
it.
God.
At
God,
least in
yeah.
our youth, in our 20s, like dreaming of what? Having a nice car, having a nice family, being okay financially, and I'm not even mentioning a house with a pool. And considering we are in UK, I mean, where is
with 2 kids.
sometimes with
Oh,
two kids,
God.
and sometimes there is summer, sometimes there is not.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
still, with palm trees and stuff, and
And still so much to do. Still so much to do. Like
tell me, Andrea, after you met Josh, you have finished your studies.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What was your dream job? I don't want you to tell me now
I
that your
had-
dream job is having no job.
It's like, I don't have a dream job, but I have a dream holiday. Right? That's what they say these days. Yeah. To be honest, Corina, I'll be so honest. I never had a dream job. I had so many jobs I wanted to have. I wanted to join the military. I wanted to be a
Okay.
She
cop.
always
I wanted to.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
one thing. Like, sorry to budge in. You continue, but
No, please.
always
Please.
at the beginning of our relationship when we came like to the UK, she was like, I want to be a police. I want to join the police. I'm like,
We are very similar, you know.
I want to join. I'm like,
Even in Romania,
why?
I prepared
Military.
myself in high school to
Me too.
to the police academy, but eventually I changed my mind because I heard it was hard and I never liked to do sport.
Oh,
So I'm like, you know what?
yeah.
Nah. But yeah, I never had a dream job, to be honest. I never had one.
So how did you? Because you were telling me
Mhm.
here in the UK at some point you got to work for Microsoft, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
How
so
did you get to that? I mean,
Okay.
what were you were saying you were studying back in Romania?
Yeah, so let's say foreign affairs and then sociology and social care. So I
Okay.
came to UK thinking I'm gonna get like into social care. Oh yeah, so my final thesis was on probation and victim protection.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to work, I did a lot of volunteering like the hospitals with people that took drugs, like, when they went, with mental illness and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then I came to UK. Oh, that's another story. But anyway, let's say I got here, right? And then he came as well. And I told him, like, okay, I want to do this job. And he was like, and do what? Like, earn £1,800 a month? Like, what were you going to do with that? His brother, he worked in IT at Lloyd's. And he was earning back then, like, I don't know, like £400 a day doing contract jobs.
Wow.
I never wanted to contract jobs because obviously I wanted like to have a stable income.
Yeah,
in
because
contract, they can
of
always-
stereotypes we have from
Exactly,
Romania. Yeah.
exactly.
It's the mentality.
Don't go.
Yeah.
So he
that's
pushed
how-
me to get into IT. Oh my God, that was a hard road. And eventually I felt like, oh, that's my dream job. Like, I moved up stages and stages and stages, and I learned IT and I became a reputable project manager. But to be honest, I was just not happy. Like, so much stress, so much to do.
You worked for Barclays.
Yeah, I worked for Barclays. I
How
went
much
to
were you
Canary
earning?
Wharf. So when I started, I was earning like £1,800 per month.
Okay.
And
It was a
then-
good start.
It was a good start, and then it grew up to, let's say, when I was implementing the Microsoft softwares, I got to, let's say, like 3,200
Okay.
after taxes. So taxing out 3,200, some bonuses, but still it was so much work, so much stress, so much everything.
She
you
was
know.
always crying.
Yeah.
She
So my
but
goodness.
I think is the field sometimes, you know, when it
And I
comes to
started
IT.
hating. I felt like, you know what? I can't do this
How
for the
long
rest of my life.
have you been doing this job?
When did I start IT? In 2014?
2014, I remember. Yeah.
2014 until 2018
Oh my
or
gosh.
2019?
2020.
20.
20.
Oh,
in middle of the
okay.
COVID, we were working from home. It was even more stressful. And I've also started doing browse. So I was like kind of rushing from
It was difficult, I think,
normal
being a
work.
mom and need
Yeah.
to doing parenting and all this
Yeah,
thing
yeah,
and having a job as well.
Exactly.
I
it
mean,
was
it's not like a
horrible.
normal job, but it's something you have to
Yeah.
work with.
Project management, you have
Kids
to
out.
do
Yeah, and there's always
meetings, you have
meetings. There are
to
always changes.
I
and
think for her, because I know my wife very well, you know, we emotions and things, you know, she gets, you have to be involved with your
Emotionally.
work. But it was like taking so much into her, like every
Pressure.
time the pressure, any little thing, oh, this person doesn't like me at work. And you can imagine IT industry, you have so many like men that will,
we were very few ladies, you know, men
Oh
that
yeah,
ruled the world.
Actually,
in this.
yeah.
So
Well,
it
this didn't
was
occur to my mind, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Because it's like a man world.
Exactly.
Yeah,
in
in a way.
IT, it's honestly. And then I think what just made me resign was I had a very supportive team. So the company was very supportive and everything.
Mhm.
But then one of the clients, because obviously the clients come with the projects, and one of the guys was an American. From the moment he sent a reply to my first email, he was so harsh, so rude. And like after a few times of taking it to my line manager, I
Could
just
have
felt
been
like,
because
okay,
of
they have-
racism or something.
I probably because I was the woman. He always said like, "Oh, I want to talk to a manager." I'm like, you know what? Just
Gender
And-
thing.
my manager always supported me. Like everyone was like, "Okay, you are in the right, but we have to deal with the client
Mhm.
because you still have to do your job." And I'm like, you know what? You take him. You deal with him. And
Was
I
that
resigned.
Vanquish or
What?
what's the-
Quantic.
Quantic?
Yeah,
Quantic.
The
That's the name of the
Quantic,
company.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, we're not allowed to.
No, we're allowed
They
to
changed the name
mention-
anyway because they
Oh,
went to a
okay.
rebranding. They
We're
changed
allowed
the name,
to
but
mention and tell whatever we want. So
Okay.
don't
I
worry
mean, I
about
don't have
it.
anything bad to say about them. I mean, they've
Oh,
been
yeah,
nothing than
Quantic was good,
supportive.
yeah.
Honestly.
They used to send us good
Mhm.
stuffs home.
Yeah,
I'd be like,
yeah.
"Oh, your
But
company
the
is sending you
clients are
stuff."
the problematic ones, and obviously work on like 4 or 5 projects. Projects are past £1 million, and you can't mess up anything. You can't make the client lose money. You always have to plan everything, and even planning was just not for me.
Okay.
I'm more like a easygoing person. I like to, be more creative
Mhm.
rather than being-
To do too much planning in advance.
Yes, exactly. Especially when the plans change. So like I finish a project plan today up to a point, and then tomorrow somebody gets sick or a resource will be snatched from my project, and then I have to replan everything. And just too much stress for that kind of money. The salary was good, but in the same time not as good as we needed it to be for the stress. So at that time, I think I was like already 1 year into doing browse. I was earning more doing browse part-time than actually going there and stressing
I want to
myself.
ask you about this. How did you just make the change? But for
I
a
thought
minute,
about it for 1 year.
for 1 minute, let's take a break and we'll come back.
Awesome.
Come back. We had a small break, but now we are getting into the good business, I would say, because we were like on the serious side before the break. But now, Josh, I want you to tell us. Do you know in Romanian? How long have you lived in Romania for?
Yeah, I'm starting in Romania. Shaptean, that are 7
Oh,
years. Yeah.
there
yeah.
is some
So
time.
sometimes, I always have to ask myself, like, when I speak it, then I say it in English, like, to be sure that I'm saying the right things. Yeah. I'm starting Romania Shaptean, da vorbesc românește, da dacă fac facultatea acolo în Iași, trebuie să mai înțeleg change some she and I love that word, shti. You need to feel like you know how to speak Romanian.
Exactly, because you're using it right. I just want to mention.
And that's why, like, every time I'm saying something,
where to place it.
Even if I'm not saying the right word, shti. So at least it feels like, oh yeah. When people come, when they come like to the clinic, for example, and they're talking about
yeah, because at the clinic you are speaking. Most of your clients are Romanian.
Yeah,
but we will get to that a bit later.
Yeah. So so I think one thing I realized with Romanian language is the fact that the big words are similar to English, but it's just being translated in a different way. For example, when we're talking earlier on, you asked the question like intelligence, and is intelligenta, and even in intellectual, the big words, I noticed that, when I was learning Romania, most of the big words are similar. And because even Romania is similar to Latin language, and then it helps you with like Latin, a little bit of French, a bit of Spanish,
true.
which is really good. So but best, if you ask me anything I can say, even if it's not going to be right, I'll
you were telling me you know some Romanian jokes.
Tell
us one in Romanian.
Depende la ce vrei.
Okay. So, you have one prepared in your mind?
No. The first one I'll say, let me just, when I first got to Romania was, so, I talked about the first one I said, and then I always had like something, because you're new to a country, but you hear some words which are quite popular. So I was always hearing like Domishara, but I didn't know. But when I was coming, I thought like there was a specific thing for Timișoara. So I went to a bar. I wanted to get like a beer, and then I looked at the lady and I said, Timișoara. And then everybody was looking at me like, but I didn't know it was Domishwara,
Yeah, it was similar.
It was similar, but for me, but not the same. But I think for someone that is Romanian, you start wondering there's no similarity. But for me, everything shwara, So I just said, Timișoara. And they were looking at me like, yeah. And some few things, like with work, anytime I see someone and they're like, maybe scared about what they want to do, I'll just like, Sufera Babala from Usete. The way I say it,
Sufera Babala.
Baba Sufera from Usete. I'm always like, which one is right? And they're like, Dash, yeah. I'm like, yes.
Dash, both.
So,
you were telling us something. You mentioned you don't want to tell us now because we're recording, but still, I insist. So Andreea was saying when you landed first in Romania, you were saying it's smelling like. And why? Tell us.
And
what was that?
Yeah, it was when I just got to Romania. I don't know, like from the airport, I started smelling like garlic and stuff.
Maybe because they serve sarmale in our restaurant, so
And because for me, garlic is healthy, is important for the body, but I just can't stand the smell of garlic. So every time I was just like, like when I first got to Romania, I just thought like when we started talking, like everything smells like garlic here, like.
And even now, I can't eat garlic unless I know he's out of the house for 2 days.
We can't, really? We can't kiss.
You
can't kiss.
Garlic. No.
So you are sleeping like kings, like in separate rooms.
No, I just don't eat it when he's around. If I know that, maybe he needs to work.
When you're upset on him, you eat some garlic.
But I have to say, the best garlic, and I don't know, for people that lives in Bucharest, the garlic mayonnaise from the KFC. Extraordinary.
Okay.
After I change my boon. That I can eat. That I love. That one.
You can imagine how much is that processed, yeah?
Oh no. I think now they need to. Everybody will want to go there to that KFC. It's on Romana, Piazza Romana. Do you know that? Or it's maybe they sell it.
So guys, if you're in Romania now and you are going to KFC, I'm speaking with the KFC guys now. You need to send us like some tips
exactly
for this.
Honestly, yeah.
Just the sauce. Keep the chicken, but send the sauce.
Okay, so I'll consider. You have, you know some Romanian because you have studied in Romania.
Yes.
But you, Andreea? Do you know any Nigerian? I'm not asking you about Romanian, obviously.
Yeah, they have different dialects according to, let's say, because it's like divided in tribes, right? So I do know some few words like ekarosar, which means
Uite,
yeah,
language.
that I've learned.
Good.
My kids learned that too, so yeah.
Everybody in my house know. We speak with so much like intonation and like drama with it, like like I think it's just how we speak. But
Yeah, I think I've seen that.
What does ekaros mean?
Good evening, sir.
No, ekaro is good morning.
Good morning.
Ekale.
Ekale is good evening.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She knows.
I just know few. I do understand more of broken English, which is a mix. So yeah, that one I understand. But the proper, like say Yoruba dialect.
Yeah, because I'm Yoruba. So in Nigeria we have like Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa. They're different. And in Nigeria we have. So it's interesting. We have 200 and something languages.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure you're like.
Yeah.
Yeah, 200 and something languages in Nigeria, and we've got like the population is massive. It's 200 million.
Oh wow.
Yeah, only the capital has like 21
20
million, as
21
big as
million.
Romania.
Wow. Capital,
Is the whole
man.
Romania?
Yeah.
So
Even
you can
more?
imagine. Yeah.
Because I think we are less now.
We are less now. We are about 19 million left.
Yeah,
I think I've
exactly.
read.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because people went abroad.
We have migrated,
Yeah.
Josh.
Yeah, true.
Okay, so Andrea, tell me, you have decided to do the wedding. You actually had like a proper wedding. Yeah.
Yes.
After 10 months of relationship.
After 10 months, we had at the mayor's house, so like just the paperwork, and then 2 years later, we actually got the proper.
Yeah.
No, 2010, 2012.
Okay, so you've been to the church as well.
Yes.
Yes.
In 2012.
How did you guys? You had a different religion.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I'm a
How did
Christian.
you negotiate it?
Yeah, I'm a Christian Protestant.
Okay.
Yeah, but when love prevails, you just have to.
But how did you just negotiate it over this? Because mostly the women are going with the men's religion.
I think it was quite easy. First of all, we were in Romania and we wanted to get married. So really,
And
there's
I
no
think
like so many other churches that do the whole thing like the Orthodox one. And then we had no choice because literally we've tried to like, there's a paper you can get from the Mitropolie in Bucharest and, pay a fee and then they allow you to get married, but they didn't. They didn't allow us unless he gets baptized.
So I think I think
you've been baptized?
it was about
Okay. What's your name?
Nearly Kalarash. Sunt Mihai.
Mihai in Romania. You are Mihai.
So I took Mihai because my dad is Michael. Yeah,
Oh,
so I
okay.
was just like, you know what? Fans Mihai.
So you are celebrating now, like the Romanian tradition, Mihail and Gabriel.
My mother-in-law, she always tells me, stretch Mihai. And I think one thing she didn't had was the fact that her mom said, like, she loves her daughter. With everything, that's our life.
Too much.
If you want to get married to my daughter, then you have to also marry in the culture, And when love prevails, I just had. It was nice.
It was not something that stopped you.
Exactly.
Or
It wasn't like something.
something.
Exactly. Yeah. Because for me, and I'm just saying this out there. Religion is what they make us believe as well. That's how I think. But at the same time, Christianity is the same.
So how are you celebrating now?
So now we celebrate both.
Okay.
My own being a Protestant.
Because in your heart you are being the same. I mean,
exactly,
I don't.
We
truly
don't
believe
mind.
in this
we go
kind.
anywhere. If we are to go to church, we go anywhere.
It doesn't matter.
We can go to. We've been to Orthodox churches. I don't have anything against it. And then she comes to like the Protestant church. It's the same for us. Or
even like proper Nigerian services they do here, or like the English Protestants, or I don't even know.
So you did the wedding in Romania?
Yes.
So
in Kalarash, by the Danube Delta,
Danube.
by the river.
You are mentioning you have your godmother.
Oh yeah. I have a godmother. Yeah. Because if you do the Botes, you have to have like a godmother.
Yeah.
So my godmother, Elena, I forgot her last name. Yeah, no, but not too great. But yeah, I have an amazing godmother. And even last time I went to Romania, she wanted me to, like, come around more often.
Do some fillers, do some
some
Botox.
fillers.
How did you choose her? Is it like
A
a
connection
friend,
from
family
my mom,
friend, or
yeah.
something?
Yeah, it was
okay.
My mom's friend.
It was a mom, that got my godmother. Yeah, but she's an amazing person. Very, very calm, relaxed, easygoing. Yeah.
And how did you brought your family to the wedding? I mean,
yeah, my dad
because-
from the UK.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody's here in the UK, so
okay.
my dad came. Yeah, and yeah. It was
Are the
really nice.
Romanian weddings like very different from the Nigerian ones? And I'm not speaking about traditions, because traditions obviously are different. But on the length.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It is different. It is. It is very different when it comes to that. The thing is, one thing that is similar is the fact that weddings. Yeah, and I think is probably in every culture you enjoy it. But one thing about Romanian wedding is they feed you. You eat. You haven't this one.
You don't eat in 3 days what you have to eat
Oh,
in few
yeah.
hours, isn't
You
it?
eat and eat and eat. It's like the food keeps on coming. But that's a big difference with Nigerian wedding. But Nigerian wedding, I think Romanian wedding, one thing I see is the fact that the people that are coming.
Yeah.
Because you send the invite, and then you people that comes, they have to like give something. It is a tradition. Nigerian wedding, half of the people there you don't know them.
Oh, okay.
It's like,
Yeah.
it's
A friend-
it's
a
crazy.
friend brings
But
a
now
friend.
they're
It's
trying to
surprise for
think-
everyone, yeah.
It's because people just, there's a wedding going on.
Let's go.
Let's go. And that is how it is.
Because you have, in Nigeria they used to like bring gifts or give money or something.
So the very good friends or family will give you
otherwise
money.
no.
Otherwise, no. So which
Okay.
is different. Which is, and
I think I like more the Nigerian.
the culture.
It's about the party, I'm going.
Exactly, and
Yeah.
that is it about
As long as
Nigerian
you're
weddings.
not the one getting married and have
You-
to
you
take
Yeah,
all
of
the
course.
cost
You
on
just-
yourself.
If anybody just come in, like if someone calls me and there's a wedding going on,
I can come with my
You
own
just
food
come,
and my
yeah,
own
you-
drink. I mean, I don't mind.
there will even be food for you. There will be everything there. But although definitely maybe after some time it's gonna finish. But when it
Yeah.
finishes, even the
you need
people
to be
that
there
you
at the beginning. Yeah.
invited, exactly, they won't have food. So you have to be there at the beginning. Yeah. So there's a bit of a difference when it comes to that. With the culture and everything, but it's still similar. We still like to enjoy. But Romanian weddings, you eat.
Were there any funny jokes or gossips about you guys, like being biracial and this different couple in Romania? Because we have like the old ladies.
Oh, we had. Do you remember when I used to live in Bucharest in Piazza in Berceni. So we had a neighbor that was so hateful that he broke the tires for his car. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
that was not funny.
No, it's funny now.
Sounds funny.
It's funny now, but at the same time,
Yeah,
then
yeah,
but
And old people, they'll always be sitting down at the bench in front of the block and like always seeing him coming and
That's why I'm
starting to ask
speaking.
questions and this and that, and then they'll be gossiping, God knows about what. But
I think you were feeling weird, awkward at some point.
it is weird.
I was
I've had
feeling
someone that
weird.
looked at me
Yeah,
and
no,
said,
like-
"Hey, hi,
Anxious.
hi, Fate, hi, Pula Mare," Yeah, which is,
or going to the tube in
for
Bucharest.
them, it's like
Yeah.
that's what they and I think
What they
that's
understand.
that's what they understand. And for some people, because because there was a time I was like, why this? And a friend just told me like, people watch pornography.
Yeah.
What they see in pornography is like a black
Yeah, because they're
man having
promoting
a,
this.
they promote
mostly,
this.
yeah.
So the guy just looked at me and was like, hey, hi, all these people.
Oh,
outside.
that's why that girl is with
Yeah,
that
and he was
guy.
like-
but they
and
were
yeah,
commenting,
they were
they
like,
were
I,
saying it
the way he
out
said
loud.
it, like, I pull a Mari. And what can you say to that?
Are you asking for yourself or for a friend?
What did you used to tell them? Did you used to like to use like something bad?
For me, I used to curse them. For me,
I'll just
not
walk away. She was always, because I think is a country she feels like okay, she has to be defensive.
Attacked.
It's like an attack. But for me, I just see like it's quite fascinating. Like,
and you are like when they were asking you like,
and
I'm that
in
guy.
Yash, Bucharest honestly is different. Bucharest people are much
open
more like
cultured.
the open culture. People are more open-minded. But like
they were
Yash,
not that
even
open.
yeah,
I mean, comparing to Yash,
now
that
Yash is
time.
changed.
Your opinion, Josh, not hers.
Yeah. True.
No,
That's
it's just
true, though.
because he felt Bucharest was a bit different from Yash, but it was still,
Yeah.
When I was in Yash, we were only 30 blacks, and Yash was a community of like I think 350 or 300,000. People can go look at the records at the time when I was there. So it was easy to pinpoint. You can imagine in London, in one area you have 1 million or let's not say 1 million. A lot of people, different cultures. But over there it was just it was totally different. It was totally different.
Yeah, we were not very open as a country to other nationalities. It was something very strange, and maybe because our economy is not so developed, we are not a very developed country. And why would someone from like I don't know any other country will come to Romania to live in like?
Well, the thing is, we do have
abroad.
good universities, especially the medicine. That's
Yeah,
one of the best.
I'm from
in Europe,
Constanța,
so
and we had
Ovidius,
yeah, exactly. And we have other other nationalities.
It's good. You do
Just
school in
coming to
Romania.
studies
You don't
here.
joke about it. So that's why a lot of foreigners choose it. Also, the prices, comparing, say, to doing it in
Prices
UK
is
to
one
Romania.
Major factor.
It's a big factor. It's a big factor because then as a foreigner you want to study in Europe, and then you want to go to a place where definitely it's
a good school as well.
A good school. It's not too expensive, and then because like from Nigeria, so many people go either Romania, Poland. Poland is expensive. When I got into Romania in 2006, we were paying I think $2,500 for medical school, which is so cheap. And that time
comparing to
every other place, so
because for Romania it's not cheap and was not cheap.
No.
Because it's not
it's
about
free. But I think it's free though. For
It depends. If you study well,
medicine.
I didn't have to study, but no, if you study well, you
depends
get
how hard
you
you
get
study.
budget.
You get budget. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think as long as there's Zece, it was in Romania. I knew Zece.
Yeah, exactly.
When you go, man, you're getting chin.
Very good marks.
It's like
What's that? Yeah, because it's also because it's not about the fee only. It's about the investments like books, and if you have like a kid studying medicine in other city, like paying for the rent and everything, and because we don't have so big wages, it's very difficult just to pay everything. So maybe coming from abroad or other
that's true.
like coming from UK, there is like a huge difference.
It's a big difference.
It makes it so affordable.
Yes.
It's a big difference. Yeah.
Okay, so you were saying some jokes.
Ah,
Some
I'm just
Romanian
trying to
jokes.
think about which one
Which
exactly?
one? So you know a lot. If you are thinking on which one to tell.
I'm trying to see which one is gonna come to my mind. Let me see. Can you give me one, babe? Can you give me anyone I've said before?
No, I crack my jokes on the spot, to be honest, and they're usually not nice.
Yeah, I don't get along with jokes.
Pornographic ones, yeah?
No.
Most of the Romanian jokes, I think, are like that. So
Maybe when it comes to me, I'll remember and I'll just be like, yes.
Okay.
This is my joke.
Meanwhile, Andreea, I want you to tell me how was it for you when you came, when you moved actually here in the UK. I mean, you knew you will do this, or you just came up to your mind at some point?
So I think what happened was I graduated 1 year before him, and then I left all my friends and everything in Bucharest. I moved to Iași. I can say that things were not that rosy because for me it was a big change. He still had his friends. I had no one there. So then I felt like, you know what? How about we try to do something more, more useful with my time instead of just, being around friendless and stressing him. You know how it is. He still had 1 year to have fun with his friends.
She going to masters.
Yeah, I've got into
She going to
masters
masters in Yash.
I didn't like it because I had to walk. Too
What
much.
masters were you doing then?
Marketing and something.
Oh,
at,
no, business administration, or was it?
Marketing.
Was it
What's something about
marketing?
marketing? At
Yeah.
which university? The big one, the nice one. Yeah, and I
Kop-
got it even for
Kopo.
free because I like to study well.
Kuza is a big
Oh,
university.
yeah,
Kuza,
yeah.
I think it's one of the
Alexandria Cuza.
first
one.
universities. Yeah. In Romania, yeah. But
Yeah. So then we were just talking like, okay, what's gonna happen after he graduates? So like, we need to come to UK. His father was here, most of his family was. Back then in 2011 when I came, we didn't have the right to work as Romanians. You
Yeah.
had to come, pick something to study, work part-time for 1 year, get your pay slip monthly from the work part-time, then apply for the blue card to give you, full-time. So
Yeah,
I
it
came
was
to
different.
UK, I knew nobody. I only had a friend. Like, we've decided kind of overnight and we got the ticket. So I had a friend from uni and she was in UK and I just told her, like, what, just book me a room somewhere. I had a shock. I came to UK, the room was in Walthamstow Central, at the most horrible house on the street. And no,
There's a
don't
winner-
say anything because
she's
the
gonna
most interesting part is coming. I had the shock of my life. I woke up every night, like in the first 2 nights, I woke up. The room was so small, like literally I had one bed and one wardrobe, like
Like a box room,
like
they are
a
calling
box
it here,
room behind their kitchen. So probably that was some sort of storage.
yeah? Oh, wow.
So I stuck my luggage under the bed because there was no other space. And then the first night I like just some noises in my luggage, and I feel like maybe I unpacked the clothes, and maybe the bags, like the how we pack bags in other bags.
Yeah.
Clothes in bags. And I feel like, okay, maybe they're just like grumbling by themselves, like maybe they're just
Yeah.
expanding. So that was first night. That was the second night. And then by the third night I realized it was rats infestation.
Oh my god.
I called him
The way you even said-
crying. Oh
she
my-
called me.
I've never seen rats in my
then
life. I only
was
had a
back in
hamster.
I was back in Yash.
He was partying
I was
that night.
partying at night.
I called him and he
And
started laughing. I wanted to
for me-
divorce. What did you say?
funny, yeah?
I'm used to rats, because I grew up in Nigeria, and also I know how rats can be. And then she called me, oh, rats!
We're not
this,
that
that.
used to.
You guys are not used to. Romanians
Oh
are not
my
used to rats.
goodness.
And I was like, and I was in the club, like.
Yeah, he was like, oh,
Not the
rats.
best, and then-
It's bye.
Problem.
It's not the problem.
Exactly. And I
I was
told
like,
him,
no,
there was not a
rats.
problem for the owner
Yeah.
either. You know what he told me? He said, please don't put poison because they'll be dying in the house and then it's gonna smell.
Oh my god.
Then I packed my stuff and I moved to my sister-in-law because I also
You
came, I
didn't look
wanted
like
to
any
do
rat in your
everything
luggage
on
with you, yeah.
myself.
Yeah, you can imagine.
Oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
goodness.
Well,
So that was the first shock. And then the second shock, it came, I started working because I had to do school daytime, and then at night
Was
I
it
had a
English
job
school?
at
English-
yeah, I studied ESOL, so nothing interesting. Just I remember we gathered
Your mic.
2,000
Otherwise
pounds.
we'll not hear you.
Sorry,
Andrea.
2,000 pounds from his tuition money.
Okay.
And he gave it to me just, okay, you know what, pay for the course. Was, I don't know, 1,000 something pounds for 1 year to just study English. I knew English, but you had to get the paperwork. And then I had to find a job. So the first job, I don't even want to like say what I went through. I found a job at a coffee shop with Romanians. The next thing I know, they were telling the owner that, oh, I come here with my books and I'm doing homework instead of doing work, which was a lie. Like, I still remember it was in Bayswater. Oh my goodness. Like, I was literally like so poor. I saw a coat in Primark for 16 pounds. It was a fortune for me, you know. So I think I had money to buy it when the spring came with 8 pounds. And anyway, yeah, so I was studying daytime. And then I was still like trying to hustle with a job at was like a Turkish cafe in Hackney. They were paying me £3 per hour. £3 per hour.
Was it £3?
£3. I was getting £30 at the end of the day, or night, whatever. And that's another part that comes, you know, Turkish owners.
Yeah.
I had a very bad experience that I had to call him. he started threatening the guy from Romania because, you know, the, let's say, sexual harassment.
Yeah.
And then I left that place, and then I took another interview.
But not all of them are
Turkish-
like that,
no,
though.
of
I
course
think it
no,
was
but I'm just saying, yeah.
it was the experience.
It was the experience, and then I took a because that's what happened. So I had an unpleasant experience there, and then I took another interview because obviously I had to still work. And the interview was at the coffee shop next door. And then the owner from that place was chasing me at night.
Wow.
Yeah, that to the point that, you know, he had to, like, I remember I took a bag and I hit him so hard and I started cursing him on the street because he was doing it on purpose. Like, every night he was seeing when I leave work, and, you know, he was just coming in the street and, like, just looking and, like, trying to follow. And, like, one night I just couldn't take it. I took my bag, I hit him, I started screaming in the middle of the road. I called him. He started threatening the guy from Romania that he's gonna send friends and this and that.
Yeah.
It was horrible, honestly. Like, the first time I came to UK, it was traumatic for a long time. You know.
Difficult times.
And he came with everything settled, didn't it? He came to enjoy life. The job was done.
The hard work was done,
Josh,
yeah. Yeah, but I think
I'm getting so angry even when I think about it. Not on him,
You
but
were
just
privileged.
on how.
Yeah, I think.
Yes,
yeah,
but
that's-
how hard it
wasn't
was,
easy.
you know.
It wasn't easy as
You
well.
had your
you know?
family anyway in the UK.
Yeah, I had my family, but I think at the beginning, she eventually, after all this happened, then
I moved to
she
his
moved
sister.
to my sister because definitely she at the beginning we're like, okay, we want to start out by ourselves, no family involved, you know.
Yeah.
Let's just make it surprise the family because we both wanted like our own
Yeah, of
beginnings
course.
and then just start. But after that happened, then she moved to my sister Lola, and then then I
Started
came.
working in care home.
And then started working in care homes. Yeah, we had our experiences there as well.
I think most of us Romanians have like a similar
I think
start.
the first
Yeah.
day, that is
Yeah.
actually funny. The first day I took that job, the guy just like literally just set up the house, and I went out with one of the ladies
One
that
of the
I
carers.
was looking after. And when we got back to the care home, it was just me and her. And as I was opening the door, she told me like, Andrea, I have these voices in my head telling me to kill you. But don't worry, I'm not gonna do it. I'm like, oh my God, no. Yeah, like, thank God, thank you. Like, oh God, it was.
Quite interesting.
Yeah, you
interesting
find it
time.
very funny, Josh, isn't
Now
it?
For me, I hear that all the time, you know.
No, he
in
had it
psychiatry,
worse.
yeah.
He had
I
people throwing
hate when it
chairs
comes
at
to,
him,
like,
and
I know what it is, you know, when it comes to
Because
mental
people
health.
when are
Because
coming
these
to
people
you,
that were
they
living
are
there,
like,
people that were working in that care home, you know, they've got like maybe schizophrenia, you know, they've got like different mental health problems. They are hearing voices, you know. Some people can hold on to the voices and not react to it, you know, and some people, they might just lash out, and that's why you see what's happening in the world out there with mental health problems, you know. So yeah.
So it was
traumatic for me. So traumatic. Like, yeah.
have you done any kind of therapy just to sort this out?
There's more traumas coming, but at a point I've done it like with myself, like meditation and trying, you know, like all these guided meditations and hypnosis by myself, and I think I've sorted out most problems. There's probably still some issues here and there, but I'm so much better.
But considering like going back to the point you were a biracial couple and had all these kind of, I don't know, stereotypes and gossips in Romania, did this happen to you here in London, in the UK? Or anything?
For us, no, not really.
Because they're very open.
Yeah, because
it's
I think
normal
as
here.
UK is very multicultural.
The thing is,
you
you
know,
won't know.
the
Here
thing
people
is,
won't say it to your
people won't
face.
say it to your face. People,
Maybe they don't care a bit more than in Romania. In Romania, they just
sometimes
gossip.
people, some do, but you know, because of how the country is, you know, they won't say that. That's the thing, they won't say it to your face. Because in the UK,
you know, you have like people that are not even happy that you are from another country. You know, some people will admire you and, you know, appreciate you, or probably, you know,
From far.
welcome you for everything. But at some people, and it's like that everywhere. And I think it's about understanding that not everybody, you know, would like you, but it was different here. You know, because people, the thing is, if someone does that to you, you could easily call the police on them.
They take racism.
When I went, like for example, I went like in the club in Romania, and then a friend of mine going to some problem, you know, club, people are drunk, blah blah blah. That happened, and then eventually the guy that was like a bit slightly drunk in the club, he hit me. That's why I have this mark. I will never forget, in my mouth. And then when he hit me, it was bleeding. We came outside. I was like, I didn't even do anything with you. Why? He was like, oh, you look like your friend. You're both, you know, both black. You know, but that happened. Then the police came. When the police came, because I was angry as well. Of course, I won't lie. With alcohol in my system, I was like, you know, raising my voice and shouting, and the police just told me, like, if you keep on shouting like this, if your blood should touch my jacket, I'm going to, you know, arrest you. You know, but you know, but I'm just trying to say, like, because the guy was being racist, but eventually it was still me that had to go through the whole stress and everything. Then luckily for me, they took me to the hospital. The police were nice. They took me to the hospital, but when I got to the hospital, it was one of my doctors that treated me. One of my
His
like teachers, you know.
Oh wow.
And they saw me and they was like, we just did, it was maxillofacial surgery, you know. And just we just did maxillofacial surgery 2 days ago. What are you doing? I'm here for this.
I came to practice what I preach.
You know, so and then he treated me, and then the police said, oh, after that I'm gonna go do a report, blah blah blah, but eventually that didn't happen.
Which is was good.
So what I'm just trying to bring out from this is, because here, you know, they take racism as a big thing because of what has happened in the past, you know, with like the slavery and things like that. So it means it's quite delicate. In Romania it's different. There were never so many blacks or anything there. So racism is like the least. There's much more into like the communism, how they even treated, how some people treated their own people, you know. But let's not go into that, you know. Yeah, but that's.
What will be an advice you will give, like, for a biracial couple?
Yeah.
Which is going through this.
Up your middle finger more. That would be me.
That's a mean one.
No, but honestly, for me, when it comes to that, when it comes to like anyone trying to offend us, husband, whatever, I get very aggressive. So
they have started to use.
I'm very calm and
background, and they are not even a biracial couple.
For me, I think she has her own point, you know, in regards to how she reacts. For me, I think it's important to understand that people are different. Culture is different. Of course, when you have issues and things, that doesn't play into your mind because you're already thinking. But for me, that is one thing that I try to like understand, that okay, she sees it in a different way, you know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see it in a different way. Can we come to a middle?
We are unique.
Yeah. And then always try to respect and just do things together. Even if you're not even happy doing it, try to do it to show to the world. Because when you look at it, relationships that are biracial, you know, interracial relationships, it's not the ones that really last. They do last. Most don't last that long. And this is from my experience, you know. And honestly, like, I'll look. I can. I won't even say like you know, statistics of the world, but maybe we can look into that. But when you look at it from even friends, you know, that have been together, some will last a short period. Some will last that you think, oh, it's going well, and some won't even last at all, because which is normal about life. But it's always living that short life. Either it's really good, because you see, I've seen like few, especially in the UK, you see like some interracial couples, and you see like the old black man walking with a stick, and you see the white lady beside him, and you're like, oh wow, this is going to be
Maybe they
me.
met late
And
in life.
But
Who
did
knows,
it
you know?
happen like
Oh,
when
I'm
you went
joking.
back to Nigeria with Andrea? You
Mhm.
went back together, yeah?
Yes.
And I think the people there were their reactions similar as to where when you went to Romania.
No.
Not like in a racist
You being
way,
blonde and you
but
know.
yes, they were looking. But
Oh yeah,
they were not
they will always
disrespectful.
look,
Mhm.
which is for them.
You are
you
just
know?
because you are a point of
Ex-
Yes,
attraction.
It's
exactly,
like
yeah.
more like I'm exotic.
Admiration.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
that's
Mhm.
But
that,
they,
but
not
not much
was
more like
You're like a
disrespectful.
mango.
exactly, you know. And I think that is because from an African point of view, you see, which shouldn't be the case, but you see there's still partially that white supremacy. You know,
Okay.
like a white person is coming, what they say,
Yeah.
you know, it's
It's-
not the best
you're
thing to say,
looking
but
at
it's
someone like
inside
this.
us, you know, it's
Instead of like,
how we've been, it's sometimes
Yeah.
it's been inbuilt. It's not meant to be that way. It's not the best way, because we're all humans.
And
you
I
know?
think your culture or Nigerians are not that rude, because I know that they are very, from what I know at least,
Mhm.
they are trying to be very nice and educated and well behaved.
I think
Ah!
it's some. It's honestly
There's people and people, like
there's people and
everywhere,
people.
you
You know,
know.
some can be very Nigerians. One thing I know about them is they can be very, very, you know, very, very vulgar
Mhm.
about how they feel. We're
Okay.
loud.
Mhm.
Some people even say to me that, oh, you don't really sound like a Nigerian, because like I sound, because
You grown up here.
you guys wouldn't even know that much, but because some people see me and they, oh, you look Ghanaian, you know,
Mhm,
because
mhm.
I have that, maybe that look of a Ghanaian, or maybe sometimes how I speak, I try to be calm, but that's just me, you know. But
Okay.
Nigerians, we can be very loud. It's just part of our, you know, culture. Like, alpha, is how we talk.
Very loud.
Okay, so guys, I think we have covered most of what we had to on the first part. So we'll invite everyone who is watching us, because on the next part we will speak more about your entrepreneurial like skills and wishes and dreams and everything, and how have you started your beauty clinic. How had Andrea left her Microsoft job and open like her beauty clinic, yeah, and how you are just combining psychiatry with beauty, and I think this is a
research.
mystery
And
and
research.
research all together. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you so much, guys, for this one. I think it will be a very interesting story for Romanians, as for the others as well, to listen and to know what is behind and what a biracial couple is going through in a country which has loads of stereotypes. Taking in consideration like London and UK is very different.
It's true.
It's
That
very
it's-
different
it's-
when
yeah.
approaching these kind of stories. So guys, again, thank you, and we'll come back with more stories about what we have already, I think, spoke about, and I don't even know how to say it in English. It doesn't come up to my mind now. I want to say that...
Ceasta.
Ceasta.
Spune-mi romana.
Da, da.
Mi romana.
Yeah, it's like what we have used. Ce am obișnuit deja publicul. I don't know how to say it in English. Doesn't come up to my mind now.
What we've expressed to the public.
I think so.
Mamma mia, sunt extraordinar.
Yeah, you are, Josh.
Sunt translator acum, translator.
Încă un podcast cu Corina și devine și...
Maybe the next one we'll do in Romanian.
Yeah, definitely. Why not?
Okay, so we'll come
I'll
back.
be saying știi.
Știi. See you next time, guys, and thank you for watching
Thank you.
us.
Thank you.
See you. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.